Okay, so any memorable memories from my mom's childhood?
I remember one time this is kind of medical. I probably shouldn't talk about
Oh
it.
my, it's okay.
But she came up to me, this because it really scared me, and she had blood in her urine, and we couldn't figure out why. And they never did really figure out why, but it was bright red. But what had happened, she had climbed a fence, a chain link fence, and I always wondered if she had hurt herself. And then and she was in the hospital 3-4 days, and I don't know if they thought maybe I'd hurt her or something. I really don't know, but they never did find out what it was, and it never happened again. And that's strange.
That's weird.
That was very scary.
Yeah,
'Cause we didn't know what it was.
that would be really scary.
Yeah. But your mom was a good student. One thing I failed as a mother, I did not get her eyes checked.
Oh yeah.
And I really did. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me, because I didn't have good eyes, but I never thought about it. And I had a friend that happened to be a nurse, that was the school nurse at St. James where she went to school, and she called me up and she said, I was checking the kids' eyes, and Angela has really bad eyes. She said, I had the eye chart and I was checking their eyes, and and your poor mom, your mom was in the 5th grade, so I don't know how long she had such bad vision, but in the 4th grade she was like failing everything practically, and I signed her up for a tutor, and I never thought to get her eyes checked, and she was sitting in the back of the classroom.
That's so bad.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
She says she always just thought that's how the world was.
Looked. Yeah, fuzzy. Yeah.
That's so sad.
It is, and that really failed her there.
Oh, never. Yeah, that's why my mom, she's like, I'm so paranoid about vision.
Checking your glass. I know. It never occurred to me. But then, of course, I did. Like Aunt Susan, I checked her at 3, and Aunt Carol too. But it never occurred to me. I don't know why. Yeah. It just never did.
Did you go to eye doctor for yourself or no?
No, I didn't, even though I wore glasses, because back then we used to go to New Jersey all the time, and New York, and eyeglasses were a fraction of the cost there than they were here. I mean, a fraction. They were like 1/5 the cost.
Whoa, that's weird.
And so you go to a place here. The only place I knew of was Southern Optical, and they wanted $300 and $400 for glasses. And you could get glasses for under $100, eye exam and glasses in New York. And they wanted $300 here.
Dang.
And I was appalled when I saw how much they cost here. So I never went to an eye doctor here.
Oh, yeah.
I never did.
So you never,
I went to an ophthalmologist in New York. We used to go up there several times a year. So like once every 2 years, I'd go to the ophthalmologist in New York. And they would make the glasses right there, and they would make them in an hour. But they didn't have that technology here at that time.
Huh. Why'd you go to New York so often? Didn't all your grandparents and stuff move over down there?
We used to go, because my mother was still living in New York, and your dad's parents were still your papa's parents were still living in New York. Or in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So we'd go for Christmas, we'd go for Easter, we'd go for maybe a week or 2 in the summer.
But then once your grandparents moved into, or your grandma moved into your house, did you still go up and visit?
No, by then we had not.
When did she move in?
I think Aunt Carol was 3.
Oh.
And then your papa and I got divorced maybe a year after that.
So you didn't go.
We had already stopped going so regularly because he started getting work. That was another reason we used to go. He used to get work in New York.
Oh, but then his family lived up there, like
Yeah.
Auntie Linda and stuff.
Yeah. But he used to get work, and he used to belong to the union in New York, the musicians union in New York, and the musicians union in New Jersey. And there was no jobs here at the time. And so he was paying dues up there. So he'd go up there at work, at least if nothing else, it paid the dues.
Yeah. Okay. Any back to the memorable events of Aunt Susan or Aunt Carol of their childhood?
One time your mom and Aunt Susan, Aunt Carol wasn't born yet. They used to fight all the time when they were little because they were 13 months apart. They were fighting over a pencil. And the point of the pencil went into your Aunt Susan's eyelid up here, and the flat part of the pencil rubbed against her eye, and her eye swelled up like a balloon, and it totally freaked me out.
Oh.
And I somehow or another, I immediately got to an eye doctor. And it turned out it was a corneal abrasion, which is nothing, that heals on its own. You put warm compresses on it.
Yeah, I had that happen to me.
Yeah, but I had never seen anything like it.
That's
her eyes,
so scary.
The point of the pencil went on up into the inside of her eyelid, and the flat part of the pencil rubbed her cornea and gave her an abrasion. And she was only 2, so although she talks, see, Aunt Susan talked from when she was a year old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty young.
She was really, really smart baby.
What about Aunt Carol?
Oh God, the defining thing was when she got hit by a car. That was horrible.
I can't believe that happened to her.
Oh God. By then I was divorced, and I was working nights, and I was home. I had gone, when I got off work, they were all in school still, and I got off work in the morning, and with a bunch of other nurses that I worked with, a bunch of us drove up to Huber's to pick strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the last day of school, and I thought, well, that would be nice. They'll come home from school and find all these pretty strawberries on the kitchen table that I had picked, with my friends that I worked with. And so we went, and we just spent a couple hours and came home, and then I laid down to sleep because I had worked the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got out of school, your mom and Aunt Susan and Aunt Carol, and they were going to McDonald's or something and crossing the street on Bardstown Road, and she got hit by a car. And then Aunt Susan, I guess it was, your mom, I think, stayed with Aunt Carol, ran and got me out of bed.
Oh my God.
Come quick, Carol got hit by a car.
Oh my God.
Almost died. It's never so frightened.
Was she in the hospital for like a long time, or?
No, not really.
Really?
She broke her leg, and they set it. I was able to have her on the floor where I worked, because I worked an orthopedic floor.
Yeah.
And
so you could go check up on
her. She was in the hospital maybe. She was in traction. They put a pin in. Not very long, maybe 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Back then they did keep you a little longer. Now it would probably be outpatient. But this was the hard part. It was the beginning of the summer, and she had a body cast.
Yeah, it's hot.
She had a cast,
yeah.
and we didn't have air conditioning.
And she had to scoot around on a scooter.
And so she had a cast from like under her armpits down to both her ankles, with a bar between her legs to hold her legs out a certain way.
How did she move?
She had to lay flat on a car creeper that I had bought foam and padded and put cloth on it, and she would lay on her stomach on this car creeper and push herself around the house with her hands.
How old was she?
6.
Oh, poor thing.
I know, it was horrible. Then I think I told you the story how when we went, at the end of the summer when she finally got the cast off and getting ready to go back to school, I thought it'd be nice to have a little vacation. I didn't have very much money. I was a single mom. So we just went a weekend up to Butler State Park. That was like our vacation, you know,
Mhm.
like two days, because I didn't have any money. And we went horseback riding, and I had her in front of me on the horse, and the horse reared up. Remember I was telling that story?
Oh yeah.
And the guy that led what they called the trail, you know, where the
Mhm.
horses would go. The horse reared up, and a limb knocked both of us off. It was a low-hanging limb on the tree, and I freaked out because I thought her leg had broken again.
Oh,
Broke my
no.
glasses, my eyeglasses, and it really, really scared me. But anyway, that's when the guy cracked a
Yeah.
log over the horse's nose. When he finally caught him, the horse just ran off. I guess he was running back to the barn, but the guy caught up with him because he was on his horse.
So she was fine. You just fell off the horse,
Hmm.
both of you guys.
Yeah, we got thrown off, basically.
That's scary.
It was, yeah. So when Aunt Carol took Freddie and Vinny to hippotherapy, she never did like the horses. She never liked horses after
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't. I could not. Okay.